if black relationships, black family, black love, black all of that is what you care about, and they depict it in a way to where the men just come off as neutered. What's up, good people? Welcome back to Bernard Riley Reviews. And you remember that guy sitting right there in the dark blue to the left? You remember that guy, don't you? That was the guy who made this statement about how he acquiesced to his wife.
And my wife can have a perspective that she enlightens me on. And so me acquiescing to what she's saying or me agreeing with her is not me losing my balls. No. Me admitting that what I...
Okay, that's enough right there. That was enough right there. For those of you that don't know, well, the reason that I'm showing you this here, because I already covered this video, but there's another video on the same channel where we actually got to hear his wife speak. So we're going to get here what this acquiescing actually looks like. But for those of you that don't know, to acquiesce means to accept something reluctantly, but without protest. That's what it means to acquiesce. So when he says he acquiesced to his wife, that means he's accepting something that she's doing or accepting something that she's telling him to do. And ultimately, that's what he was describing. He was saying, you know, I'm not always right, so I'm going to accept. He basically, in my perspective, admitted to he submits to his wife, because if somebody is telling you something and you're accepting it and you're going along with it, but you're doing it reluctantly, which means you don't want to do it. You technically think it's wrong, but you're going to go along with it without protest. I'm sorry, that's submission. I'm sorry. Homeboy admitted to submitting to his wife. Now, where it gets interesting is because there's another video.
I'm a black girl, and I need you to understand my hair. I need you to understand just my attitude. I need
attitude. Now, when he talked about acquiescing to his woman, and as we already went over, to acquiesce is to accept something reluctantly, but without protest. To accept something reluctantly, but without protest. Could it be that that attitude is something that he's being conditioned to accept reluctantly, but without protest? But you need him to understand that attitude. We're going to roll it back just a little bit. We got to hear this.
Yes, that's fine. That's great. You love who you love. I'm a black girl, and I need you to understand my hair. I need you to understand just my attitude. I need you to understand my love. I do. I need you to get it. I need you to get it. I need you to understand when I'm ready to take this weave out and I can't get to my beautician. I need you to get some scissors, and I need you to go for it. Like,
Terrence, you be getting the scissors?
Look,
You in there? You in the room?
I've become a pro.
Weave.
Good job. I love
I gotta
it.
get to my scalp, baby. Come on.
Help me. Okay, I have one last question for you guys.
Okay, now it's very possible. It's very possible that had I not seen the previous video where he said he acquiesced to his woman, where the video was like, when you're married, you don't have to give your balls away, but they were basically describing a bunch of incidents where and everything and all the many ways that they gave their balls away, where they basically described, there was a number of times, at least 3 times, where I think the men ultimately admitted to submitting to their wives. So when you take that and juxtapose it with what we're hearing right here, that he's that guy who he's helping her with her weave, he getting in there, he untangling stuff, doing whatever you got to do with that, basically engaging in a lot of feminine work. This man's a lawyer, so he's a successful brother. He's a provider. He's a high earner. He you know, but he gets his hands dirty when it comes to that kind of thing with his woman. And at face value, I understand, being married 13 years, understand you're gonna do. I'm not married now, just for those that don't know. But I do understand that when you're married, you're going to do things that you don't necessarily, things that you never thought you would do. I totally 100% understand that is going to happen. That person is your partner. They're there with you all day. You're going to end up doing some odd stuff. But when you take that and you fuse it with him speaking about how he acquiesced to his wife, it does make you wonder. And when she's talking about, I'm a black woman, I need you to understand my hair. When I got to get my scalp and everything all set together, and you got to understand my attitude. And he's like, oh yeah, I get in there and I do this and I do that and I acquiesce and I did that. The only reason I'm doing this is because the show is called, Black Love, and they're talking about black couples and black marriages. But I don't think that they're doing a good endorsement on the male end. I think they're doing good on the female end, because what woman wouldn't want a lawyer who get in there and play with your weave and play around with your scalp and untangle all your entanglements with your hair? What woman wouldn't want that? It sounds great for women, but I don't think they're really doing a great endorsement for men. And that's where I think a lot of these shows, if black relationships, black family, black love, black all of that is what you care about, and they depict it in a way to where the men just come off as neutered. So I look at this and I'm trying to say, when I'm waiting to see if I'm going to see a situation where the man just seems like just the strong masculine leader and the woman more or less acquiesce to him. And you don't really see that. You don't get that feel. You don't get that vibe in none of this, even with successful, productive men. So I see what they're trying to do. But for men who actually care about not having their balls taken, like the previous video that they did, it just looks like a lot of ball takeage going on. And I don't see how a single man considering marriage would look at this and be like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want. I can't wait to be just like those guys in those videos. But it's fun. We're gonna roll a little bit more of it.
I think for me, as I said, I know my number one greatest decision was following Christ, and I needed to be with a man that also believed what I believed. Because to me, I feel like if your biggest desire is to please God, and you know that I'm a daughter of God, you know that I'm a daughter of the King, then you are going to do your best to make sure you please me. And if that's your ultimate goal, then I can follow you anywhere.
That sounded strikingly close to the black woman is God. Sounds strikingly close to that she needed a man who believes in God. But he has to believe in God because he has to understand that I am a child of God. I'm a child of God. And you believe in God and you love the Lord, and I'm the Lord's child. Oh, I know you just gonna love me, right? It comes off as if, from her perspective, the relationship is about this man pleasing her. When she mentioned king, she said daughter of the king. And I'm quite sure that they engage and dabble in that rhetoric where she's calling herself a queen. But what they obviously don't understand about that, all that king queen stuff, the king doesn't treat the queen like a queen. Her subjects treat her like a queen. The king is not one of her subjects that serves her. Now, she didn't exactly go there and say that she's a queen and she's to be treated like a queen, but it reeked of that. Now, I'm not saying that he's supposed to treat her like crap. I'm just saying that they get it wrong whenever they try to smuggle in king and queen into relationship dynamics today. I'm just saying that they get it wrong. The queen is only treated like a queen by the subjects. The king is the one person who does not have to treat the queen like how queens are treated. That's something they never really average into the equation. but she's going higher up the chain because she's the daughter of the king. So she's to be treated like a princess. Well, okay, great, but she said it as if that's goal and objective in the man to treat her like a princess. But princesses are, ultimately catered to, pampered. I imagine how Prince Hakeem, in the beginning of Coming to America, how he was treated. That's ultimately how I imagine, princes and a prince and a princess ultimately being treated. And one odd thing about that kind of treatment, when somebody has that whole mindset, normally, in my estimation, I've never seen somebody who had that mindset who also had the mindset of a servant as well, who was going to do the same. Every woman I've ever encountered who felt like it was that man's job to treat her like a queen or a princess, returning the favor, they're normally not very big on that. And so again, I'm taking all of that, putting all of that on the video, the original video that I played, where I did a long breakdown of that video during the live show that comes on every Monday through Friday at roughly 9 a.m. Shameless plug, go check it out. But check out that video if you haven't seen, where I did a full breakdown on the conversation he was having with the other gentleman, where he was talking about how he acquiesced to his wife, and then she admitted he needed to understand her attitude, her hair, her this or that, when she got her scalp breathe and all of that. She's saying all of that, and then she's circling it back to, I believe in God and he believes in God, and I'm a daughter of the king, and you worship the king, and I'm the daughter of the king, so you treat me as such. Again, I just don't see a just raving endorsement for any man looking at this to say, oh yeah, marriage looks like it's it's definitely the thing. It's definitely great to have this woman who she's just there for you, and she's this, she's that. No, it turns into it gets sold as a situation where the man is there servitude to the woman. And I think they get it wrong when they present marriage in that kind of way. And I'm speaking to somebody who was previously married, and I did speak a lot like how the men in these videos tend to speak. I did speak a lot like that. And in my experience, when the man is conducting himself that way, with that type of, servitude and acquiescing to what the woman is saying and treating her like a princess, and the guy ends up in a situation where he's just constantly, he's on eggshells. They actually, one of the guys in the previous video actually mentioned that he was, walked on eggshells around his wife. He admitted that. He said, it was my turn to walk on eggshells now. Whenever men conduct themselves like that, the women tend not to respect them. And the guy is in the state of tap dancing, trying to figure out how to do everything just right for this woman that requires that she be treated like a princess. But in your attempt to try to treat her like a princess, it's like it ends up being a situation where they're never fully happy, because they lose respect for that man that they know deep down they're really just controlling him. He's like the puppy trying to please the owner. It turns into a weird situation. However, I do think, I'm a person who believes that Black families are a good thing. Two Black people getting together and sticking together and being together is a good thing. But every media apparatus that talks about it does not talk about it in a way that to where a man looks at it and says, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want. Where I would say a masculine man looks at it and says, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want. A guy who's just happy to have a woman to get some regular sex from and be in a relationship, it just, that guy's fine. He's cool. But I don't see this stuff as doing anything that would propel a masculine man to say, oh yeah, this is a good endorsement of marriage. I'm really looking forward to all of this. But that's my take on it. And that's the Not So Beautiful Being footage for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, be sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And if you wish to support the channel, the best way that you could do that by becoming a Patreon. The link is in the chat. And once again, thank you, everybody. If you're here already, if you lasted this long, you ought to be subscribed. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, bang the bell, hit the like button on your way out. And once again, like to thank you. We are out of here. Peace.